How's it going, guys? Thanks again for being here. Today I have another set of tube lights here. This time is the Weeylite K21 Tube RGB lights. And these lights, they actually sold individually. You see me with a set of two here because the manufacturer wanted me to demonstrate how the app works by controlling the light by itself and also in conjunction with multiple lights here. So I'm going to tell you guys in advance everything that I plan to do in this video here. I'm actually going to show you the whole manual of these lights, the front, back of the light, everything, the app control, where to use these lights, how would you use this light, everything that you want to know about this light. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, I'll be right back. And a quick disclaimer here, Weeylite sent me the slides for me to test it out. I don't get paid to say anything here. All my words and opinions, they are the same, they will never change. And also this video is not sponsored by anybody or Weeylite. So let's get a few things out of the way here. When you purchase this light, it's gonna come on the standard cardboard box, and it comes included with a USB Type-C about 3 feet long. It does not come with any charger, you have to supply your own. Now these lights do not come with a case. I don't know, maybe chargers $10–15 more, but you know, it would be always nice to have at least a little something like this here, a little padded little thing with a zipper here, and there you go, to actually transport the light. When I'm actually looking for cases like this, I'm actually the king of the cases because you have to come up with the weirdest keywords. So this is actually an LED tube light. The only case that will fit this perfectly, I had to search for a thermal printer case. So you have to get really creative to actually find a case for whatever the thing is here. Some lights don't come with a case. This thing took a thermal printer case to actually find the exact size to fit here. The case that I ordered is currently in transit from Nevada to here because of Christmas and all, you know, it always takes a few days. But I'm only gonna be actually leaving the link in the description after the case arrives and I confirm for you guys that this case actually fits this light. I think it will, and I actually ordered planning to fit both of these lights here. Even if you buy one, the case should be fine as well. So again, let me get the case first and then I'll list on the description. If it is not there, it's because the case didn't work and I have to try something else, but I'm pretty sure it will. This light on CCT mode ranges from 2500 degrees Kelvin to 8500 Kelvin, which is much nicer than having just the usual 3200 to 5600. If you need a little cooler, there you go. If you need a little warmer, you got it. Also has a 760 lux measured at half a meter away from a wall at 5500 degrees Kelvin temperature, and it has 52 warm LEDs, another 52 cold LEDs, and 32 RGB LEDs. It has a RA of 95 and a TLCI of 97. One thing that I know you guys want to know right away is how long can you actually run these lights, right? So when you charge it 100% in room temperature or any decent temperature, nothing too extreme, nothing too cold, nothing too warm, this light is going to be running exactly 1 hour at 100% or 2 hours at 50%, easy math. And this light is actually very lightweight. It weighs about 270 grams and it comes with a 3.7 volt 2500 milliamp battery. Now to charge this battery, the manual states that it will take about 3 hours to charge the battery. I actually have all kinds of USBs you can think here, even the super fast charger, but usually for lights like this, even if you have a 3 amp charger, it's not going to be making a difference. It's going to be treating the thing as if it was a 2 amp. Anyway, in my experience here, I actually experienced 4 hours of waiting to charge this light. That's a long time. It can be a bummer sometimes, but just so you know, it took about 4 hours to charge this battery from 8% to 100%. So after 4 hours, you're gonna see the light is gonna be displaying as full here. So now you can actually power on the light and operate it at 100% as long as the battery is fully charged to 100%. And as long as you keep it plugged into the wall here, when you actually power it off, using this light for at least an hour as far as I tested, it's going to read still full here after you power it off, and still going to read full like that. To use these lights, they're extremely easy and so self-explanatory. I'm sure this is not the first time you guys ever seen something like this, right? So everybody knows how the things operate, but I always read the manual, even a blender, for example. Maybe, I don't know, the thing spins in reverse, I don't know. In the manual it says, before you actually attempt to charge this light, you must power off the light first and then attempt charging. So this is actually not true because I went over there to make this test here. You actually can use the light while charging. What the manufacturers don't want you to do, and I actually mentioned this on every single video, because what you're going to be doing is stressing the battery. Because think about that, when you actually use the light like this, you're going to be charging and discharging the battery at the same time. It's just like you like putting your arm this way here for half an hour. You know how that feels, right? Same exact way the battery is going to feel that way. So don't do that. Charge the light at 100%. and then you can use whatever brightness you want. Even 100%, it's not going to hurt anything. So to be very clear here and to answer your question, yes, you can charge and use the battery at the same time. What you want to do first is charge this thing at 100% and you're good to go. And another important thing regarding battery here, try your best not to let the light actually die, because every time you do this to your cell phone or anything that has a lithium polymer or lithium ion or even a lead acid, you're gonna be hurting the battery cells. So once you see the thing at 1 bar, either charge the light, give it a break, or if you have a second one, use this one instead. But don't let the battery die, because it's gonna hurt the battery. So one thing that I'm sure everybody will probably agree, because the type of reviews that I'm making this channel here, they're not as short as the usual reviews that you guys see, but I like to introduce all the knick-knack little details here, and this is actually always helpful in case you guys want to purchase this light or any other light that I review here. Before anything else, before somebody even contacted me to offer to review this lights here, I was actually browsing Amazon, and then I saw this light here a few months ago, and I actually was watching a bunch of reviews, or maybe I was gonna get this light, and then I saw somebody that was actually doing a pretty good job with the review, by the way, showing everything. But the one thing that he was complaining is because he was saying the effects on this light here, it works on the light itself, but when you're actually using the app, the effects is not going to match with the light, which was true, but he did not know, which I let him know, by the way. So he did not know that Weeylite makes actually 2 different types of apps. My wife has a ring light 18-inch RGB from Weeylite, and the new app does not match with the effects with the other one, go figure. But here's the thing, so when you buy this light here, make sure you download the Weeylite Pro app, not the regular Weeylite, because the effects will not match. But don't worry about it, I'm here to show you guys everything with the old app and the new app to illustrate exactly what he was talking about, and then I'm going to show you guys here there's no problem with the light, just download the right app. Now there are several types of tube lights here. This one measures about 11 inches of working space here, where the LEDs are, and you also have the 25-inch tube lights, which is actually ideal for weddings. Your assistant can actually hold the light here while the bride is posed somewhere there near the sunset to actually do a little shine over there, or a studio or anything. So everybody has different preferences, not everybody has a ton of lights or anything, I understand that. So yes, you can actually use this light as a key light, especially if this is the only light that you have, or the only light that you actually brought. Maybe you're camping somewhere there, and then whatever the reason is. But I would not use this type of light here, especially for being only 11-inch size, as a key light, because it's not going to cut it for me. At least I would use the 25-inch tubes, but what I really like to use are soft boxes and diffusers and bigger things. But again, you certainly can use this as a key light. And by the way, the LEDs here, as you can see, you cannot see the LEDs. I'm gonna actually power off the light here. So the tube is actually super frosty white, so you don't see anything. So this is a good thing. It diffuses the light okay. But the primary thing that I'm going to be using this light for professional use instead of having fun or whatever is for accents, placing this light, behind an object to glow something around there, or to have a way to do auxiliary lighting for something here, a little RGB effect slightly coming from this way. But again, I'm not going to be using this for key light. You certainly can, again, if this is the only light that you have. But I would recommend a bigger light for this. Now every time I work with something serious, such as corporate video or wedding, something that the client is paying money for it and you cannot screw anything up. So before you want to know what the product is going to do here, so with my experience with any other brand or any other little tube like this here, just for peace of mind, I already know that I must absolutely plug it in the wall first. If I want to mount this light on the boom as a headlight or whatever that is, if it is a long interview or something that cannot be interrupted, some time-lapse process, especially time-lapse, right? Make sure you plug this in here, just for peace of mind. Which, by the way, another thing that I really like what this light actually has is a feature that I actually literally demand, because some lights, they don't have that. How many lights have you guys seen on CCT mode when we actually change from 3200 to 5600 degrees Kelvin? Every time you are in the middle, like around 4500 degrees Kelvin, you will see the light gets twice as bright because all the LEDs are gonna turn on. The software on this lights here and many other lights that I have, they have the ability to actually calculate the right exposure. What I'm trying to say here, whatever range on CCT on this light here, from 2500 to 8500 degrees Kelvin, the exposure will pretty much not change, which is what you want. So whatever color that you're dialing, if you put the light here somewhere, the exposure is not going to change. If it changes, it's going to be probably something almost imperceptible. What I don't like to see is a light that actually goes twice as bright. It's actually super annoying, and this light does not do that, which is a great thing. Another thing that I want to mention here, this light also has the very gentle 1%, because if you are doing a time-lapse or 30-second exposure, shooting a time-lapse outside, you need a little bit of a light here and there. Now, if for some reason you are required to shoot something with extremely high ISO and aperture 1.2, which is going to be pretty sensitive, right? You definitely want this little 1% gentle thing here. This is actually what 1% looks like here at this aperture f4. So if you're shooting at f1.2, even with 1%, you can actually get away with a lot of things here because the light is going to look like this at f1.2, right? So this lens again is a dark lens, but as you can see how gentle that 1% is. Then 2%, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10% we have this particular brightness here, and 100% will look like this. So at this proximity here, as you can see, is plenty of power because this is actually an 8-watt light. It's actually a lot of brightness for a little tube like this. Another thing that I recommend here is to put extra diffusion here. So here's the light without any diffusion whatsoever. Then a little bit of diffusion here. So of course you're gonna lose a little bit of light because you have something in front of the light here, right? But look at the shadows now, much better. And this is a very simple Roscoe frost gel here. You can actually buy a B&H if you want. And there are other materials from Roscoe, as you can see here. This is more like a fiberglass looking kind of thing, which, by the way, for lighting purposes, you can actually use a white surface as a bounce light, as you can see here. Look how gorgeous the light looks if you can actually place the light very close to your face here. And then you decide there's many ways to do lighting here. So this way it will look like this, or you can actually put the light wrapped inside this thing here. And then you have this type of light here. So you get yourself a very nice diffuse light, and the shadows is going to be more gentle. So if you remove, it will look like this, a little harsh. And of course, you either have to turn down the brightness of the light or simply place the light away from your face. Now, if you're serious about lighting, it doesn't matter what piece of lighting you use. It can be either a cell phone little LED or something little thing like this here, or big expensive high-end lights. It doesn't matter. What you need to know is the inverse square law for lighting. If you don't know what that is, simply Google, or there's a lot of things on YouTube regarding the inverse square law for lighting, also for sound as well if you do audio. It's very important. Another cool thing that this light does is the ability to color correct either the magenta cast or the green cast. If this light is a little bit too green or a little bit too magenta, this light can actually match for you. Now the cool thing here is because when you are at the extremes, -10 and +10, it's like way green and way magenta. The other light that I reviewed here, the last video, the green magenta barely changes. I mean, it's there, but this one here gives you definitely a lot of green and a lot of magenta. So probably -1 or +1 will actually make a lot of difference here, which is a good thing. Now I'm going to show you guys here what I'm talking about. The one thing that I don't like about this is because it doesn't stay where you want. So I want to change to the green correction here. You got to press this little arrow up and down button here. Okay, so if you take long, it's gonna actually quit the thing and go back to the, let me see, yeah, it disappears. So you have to call the whole thing again. So you gotta think real fast. So every time you press this thing, wait like 5-6 seconds, this thing is gonna disappear. There you go. It's no longer here again. I gotta do this again. It is what it is. So right now I have the light at 13%. It's gonna be doing a little fill here. So no light and with the light, right? So right now I'm at 0. And let's do just exaggeration. +10 is going to be on the green side, which is a lot of green, right? And a lot of magenta. So let me go back to 0 here. So I'm going to do +1, which is the green side. So +1, +2, +3, +4. Go back to 0. Now minus, which is going to be the magenta now. 2, 3, and 4. As you can see, it will definitely make the difference here. So you can either mount this light on a C-stand or a boom or anything you want to do. If you need to position the light this way here on a regular stand, all you need to do is to add a little ball mount that features a 1/4-20 thread, and you can position the light any way you like. You can also turn the light this way, whatever it is they want to do. And then when you're done, you just lock it down here. Good to go. Now the cool thing about these lights here for headlight and all, you don't need to sandbag anything because this thing weighs less than 300 grams, exactly 270 grams, so it's very lightweight. And one thing that you don't want is harm on your set. I mean, if you want to use sandbags, it's fine, of course, which I always recommend. But this thing here, I'm using a little Amazon basic stand, especially for little things like this here. I don't need a heavy stand for something like this, right? So I'm actually trying to push the lighter here and nothing happens. It's not going to go because it's a very light piece of material here. This light has such powerful magnets, as you can see, you can actually use on any metal surface, such as my screen projector right there. Or you can actually put them together this way and angle that way, so you actually have a larger source of light here, in which you can actually do some key light and everything. Now you have two lights, one shooting slightly this way here, which allows you a bigger coverage of some sort. Now I'm going to show you guys how extremely easy it is to work this light on the app here. So I actually have nothing open on my phone, as you can see here. And let's go to the actual apps there. And I'm going to try the old app first. They both work here. So you don't need to pair anything. You're just going to ask, would you like to access Bluetooth? Okay, that's all you need. And then every time you launch this app, I'm actually going to be quitting the app here and start it again. It connects just like that, instantly. So let's choose a good exposure here. Right now you can actually operate the light at the same time. Whatever one does, the other one is going to do. If you want it different, all you have to do is to change the channel here or the group, and you're going to be operating the light separate. You want to go back, just change to the same channel and letter here. They will be doing the same exact thing here. So as you can see, it's very easy. You can actually go to your CCT, your color temperature here from 2500 to 8500. Everything responds very quickly, as you can see here. And on HSI, you have your colors here. And notice that it is actually very smooth. There's no jumping or anything like that. Even if you go a little faster there, as you can see, very nice. And as you go towards the middle, this is when you actually decrease the saturation of the light. You know, if you don't want so blue, you know, you get the point. And here are groups A, B, C, D, E, F. You set the lights to whatever group that you want or whatever. So this button here powers off the light and power back on. It's that simple. Now the app that I'm using right now here, you certainly can use if you don't want to go mess with the effects, is the Weeylite regular. They also have the Weeylite Pro, in which is the light that you must download to operate this light properly here. I'm just showing you guys this first app here to show you that it also works, unless you don't want to mess with the effects. So let's go to the scene effects here. So let's go to the flash. As you can see, some matches, some don't. Let's go to the I don't know, the police here. See the CCT, let's go there. That's not it, right? It's not matching. I'm actually pressing the CCT here and it's not matching. And let's go to the red here. The red, okay, the red goes, okay. Now that's not the orange, right? So as you can see, nothing matches here. So let's quit the app. Now when you actually get your light, make sure you download the proper application, which is the Weeylite Pro for this particular light here. The other app works okay. So let's go to the proper app. And as you can see, it also connects instantly. So it's the same deal, the groups here and all. Let's go to the CCT. Then here's your intensity here from 0 to 1% increments all the way to 100%. And also your magenta and green correction. Here, as you can see, the extremes here. So if you just want to do a little bit, like -1 is going to go towards the magenta and +1 is going to go towards the green. See, it makes a huge difference already. If you need more, just go this way, you know. And also the color temperature. Everything works very fast. And everything is very smooth. I'm actually ramping it down here all the way to the warmest. As you can see, there's no jumping. Let's just do the test again, reducing the brightness to see if that's going to be actually jump or not. So I'm at 8500. And shouldn't be jumping anything. So this is actually very good. Because usually at a lower brightness, usually it's not as good as, you know, all the way to 50% or 100%. And then you actually have the shortcuts here, the 3000, 4000, whatever. And then to exit here, you're going to click on the thing on the bottom here, which has this little 9 dots. There you go. Now the HSL, same exact thing. Less saturation, more saturation, everything is nice and smooth. There's no jumping around. Good. Now press the thing again here. Let's go to the RGB thing. So the R only, assuming everything is at 0, you're going to have the R only. If you need a shortcut for everything, very easy to work. And then the white lights here and the warm lights only. And of course you can actually mix the white with the yellow, or the white with the green, or the red with the blue, for example, and then you have your own creation here. And it also features the XY coordinates, a particular gamut here that you want to do, which is pretty cool. And also a gel here. The other app doesn't have that. So if we have this thing on here, make sure the top thing in blue here is actually disabled, because we actually have to disable the CCT. And let's throw some light in here. So we have the Roscoe gels here, as you can see. So even gels this thing offers. And even the Lee gels. So everything matches, everything is good. Great. When we actually turn this on, the gels are gone. So make sure this is actually disabled. So what else we got here? So let's go to the effects. Okay, cool. So you know everything now matches. And on the bottom here, the first bar, as you can see, there's a little Chinese text, which means sudo, which is speed in Chinese. You actually change the speed 1, 2, and 3 by sliding this bar here. And then on the bottom, obviously, is the brightness of the intensity, right? As you can see, the other application, nothing was matching okay, right? So this app here is actually meant for the light. So when you go to the wave red, is actually wave red or wave green, everything matches. Wave blue, wave yellow, or the CCT loop is going to look like this here. The police, you actually control the speed here, which is cool. So it's going to look like this here, or this, or that. And it has a bunch of things here. Candlelight and all. My YouTube analytics, sometimes it shows you guys don't want to see much of the effects here. I try to show everything, but I guess I'm going to skip this whole detail here because I guess you guys don't like it, so I'm done with that. So I just want to show you that the app works here and everything matches with the effects on the back of the light there. So there you go. So what else we have here? We have the color picker. I'm not gonna enable my camera here because I don't like it. You can actually aim the camera at whatever, like a piece of candy. Here this thing is actually purple. The light is gonna actually mimic this color here, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna do that right now. And my scene, you can actually record your own thing here. So the app works, and this is all I gotta show you guys here. Manually, you can actually turn off the lights, turn it back on. You can actually change the channels here. You can also change the group by doing this here, A, B, C, D, and F. So you guys already seen how easy it is to connect to this app here. Now next, I'm gonna be showing you guys here operating this light, which is just as simple as this. This is why they sent me the two lights, so I'm gonna show you guys right now. So I just changed the light here. All you need is to press and hold the set button, and then you're gonna be able to change the group and the channel. This is all I did. Now this light is on B and the other one is on A. So right now I'm on A here. So let's see what happens with the CCT. So I'm changing the color temperature here and the intensity. As you can see, only that light is working there. The other one is not. And then you simply go to the B channel and then go to the CCT and look at that. The other light is working. It's that simple. All right, so here's the back of the light. And as you can see, there's a USB-C port, which means you can charge the light and also get firmware updates. Currently is version 1.0 and currently there is no firmware upgrade available yet. Press the power button, press and hold. Here's the version 1.0. And you are on CCT. So the set button is gonna go from CCT to the HSL, to the RGBW and the effects and back to the CCT. This button here with the double arrows is to select either the brightness, which goes from 0% to 1% all the way to 100 and very fast, as you can see. Pressing next controls the color temperature all the way from 2500 degrees Kelvin, very fast in 100 Kelvin increments all the way to 8500 degrees Kelvin. Now at any page here, when you press and hold the set button, it will give you the chance to change the channel and the group letters. You gotta think very quickly because, as you can see, the function already disappears, so you gotta press and hold again. And there you go, you can actually change the channels here. It goes from 1 to 19, and you press this double arrow here. That's when you actually change the letters from A to the letter F. I'm gonna set it to A. If you wanna control another light, set other than 1 or other than A. Press the set button again, it's gonna take you to the HSL, which is the same deal here as I showed you before. You press this button, changes your brightness, and you press the button again, it's gonna change the colors very quickly. And press it again, it's gonna control the saturation. So this light here, you can actually have a great degree of control of the color saturation here, as you can see. At 50% it looks like this. So if you want pink, there you go. Even at 20%, you still have colors going on. Press the set button again, takes you to the RGBW, in which I showed in the app here. Each one is going to give you the colors that you want. Press set again. Here's the scenes, which the app is a lot easier to show you. But again, to change the intensity, here's the same deal. Press this button here, change that. Press it again, you go from fast to normal to slow. Press it again, you change the scene here to effects or whatever. Press the set button again, you go back to the CCT mode. Now when you press the arrow once again, this is when you actually control the green magenta correction here, which is great. I'm going to show you the extremes first. All the way down to -10 is a lot of magenta, and +10 is going to be a whole lot of green. So you have a lot of green and magenta to match here. I would say just +1 should be slightly greener, already works well. It may be 2, as you can see, there's a huge difference. It's just the right amount, I would say. I wish there was a tiny little bit more control, but I think with the 1 here, you should be okay. And down is a little bit more magenta. And down here, as you can see, it goes to the magenta cast. And -2, it looks like this here. And again, you're going to have a whole lot of fun with this light for 1 hour of running on battery. And then keep in mind that it's going to take from 3 to 4 hours to charge this battery back to 100%. So again, if you want to use this light charged on the wall, while using the light, make sure first you charge this to 100% and then you actually use the light to blast to 100%. So that concludes my review of the Weeylite K21. If you like what you've seen here, there's a lot of other material on my channel which I review the same exact way here. And please feel free to actually drop the comments on the comment section, because I respond to everything that I see there. So once again, thank you very much for being here, for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.